In this video, we are going to discuss about the head and shoulder and the inverse head and shoulder classical chart pattern. The head and shoulder is a bearish reversal pattern. That means after an up move, if we find a head and shoulder pattern, then after the breakdown, we see a price coming down, that is price reversal. An inverse head and shoulder is just like head and shoulder. The only difference is that this is a bullish reversal pattern. That means after a price down move, if we find an inverse head and shoulder pattern and then there is a price breakout above the neckline, then we find that the price is going upwards after that. So it is a bullish reversal pattern. Now let us understand how a head and shoulder pattern is formed. First, there is an up move. So up move is a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. So what happens is that at one point of time we see a high is being formed and then the price come down, and then a higher high is formed and then the price again come down, and then again there is a high form which is lower than the previous high. So we have two smaller highs and a higher high that is in the between. It looks much like a head and two shoulders in two sides. If we join the bottoms that are formed in intermediary, if we join them, we find the neckline of the pattern. Now, if price moves below the neckline, then this is a bearish reversal. A bearish reversal can fail also. Price may eventually go higher also. So keep that in mind, that price breaking down the neckline is not the sacrosanct signal for that the price would move lower and lower and lower. So that is why we keep a stop loss. Normally stop loss is kept above the nearest high. So if it is like this and there is a price breakdown, the nearest shoulder is kept as the stop loss. But that is often a big enough stop loss. So often traders, what they do is that once the price is breaking down, they enter in some quantity, and if there is a pullback towards the neckline, that often happens in the case of bearish reversal patterns. If there is a pullback towards the neckline, they again enter with some quantity and keep a stop loss just a little bit above the neckline. But the ideal stop loss, what I have said, is should be the nearest peak or the nearest shoulder. Now, once the price breakdown is there and if the price is moving downwards, the target, that is the theoretical target of the move, is the distance between the neckline and the head. So from the breakdown point, we add that distance and we get the target of the move. Now, one thing you should remember, that volume plays a significant role in recognition and later the performance of the pattern. If in the later up moves we find that the volume is on the lower side, and in the down moves during the head and shoulder formation we find the volume is on the higher side, and if on the break of the neckline volume is quite high, then it is the assuring factor that the head and shoulder pattern that we saw is now going to perform. This is just a little bit of additional assurance. But without the volume confirmation also, nowadays this head and shoulder breakdowns can happen. So it is not a necessary factor. So now let us look at an example of the head and shoulder. Here we are looking at National Aluminium chart. Here you could see in the daily chart the head and shoulder pattern was formed. Here there were 2 weeks in both the shoulder in the downwards. Otherwise the upper line that we have drawn, we could say that is the neckline. But ideally it can be considered as a neckline because that was 1 day breach in both the case. Otherwise, if you want to be very theoretical, you can take the bottom 2 lines and add them and find the neckline, and once a breach below that, you can see how the price is going down. Now, one very important point about the head and shoulder is, if in the head and shoulder, if you find that the neckline is slanting downwards, then the probability of success of the head and shoulder pattern goes up. but compared to a horizontal neckline or the comparison to a rising slope neckline. So this is another important factor, but nevertheless, once broken down from a head and shoulder, the price can move much lower. So beyond the theoretical target, if you want to enjoy the price move, you need to have a trailing stop loss. What is trailing stop loss? We have already described in our previous video, so we are not going to describe it again. If you want to refer to that, just look at that video. You will understand what is a trailing stop loss. It is adjusting the stop loss again as the favorable price move unfold in the desired direction. Now let us talk about the inverse head and shoulder. Inverse head and shoulder is similar. First there is a down move that was there, then in the down move a low is formed, then there is a pullback, and then a bigger low is formed, then there is a pullback, then there is a little bit higher low is formed, and there is a pullback. So it looks like an invert head and shoulder. Two higher lows, in between there is a deeper low. So once the neckline is again breached, and again in the case of inverse head and shoulder, if the volumes on the up moves are higher and during the down move it is lower, then we can be assured that the probability of success of this pattern is quite high. And again, if an inverse head and shoulder is slanting upward, the neckline is slanting upward, the probability of success of that pattern becomes higher compared to a horizontal or a negatively slanting neckline. Now let us look at an example. Here it is the daily chart of Jet Airways. Here you can see first there was a shoulder formed, a low, then there was a bigger low, then again a higher low was formed. So once there was a breach, see there was a little bit of pullback, and then the volume also gave a little bit of support. The volume increased after the up move, and during the last leg of the up move within the shoulder itself, the volume was on the higher side compared to the previous. So what happened is that the price after the break of this pattern actually moved quite higher, and the neckline acted as support later also. If you see later the prices came down, but what happened is that during just before July, the prices came to the neckline, and from there they actually went up. And again, if in the month of November, you could see the price came down and took support on that level. So the neckline became such an important point of trading for the entire move that unfolded for months to come. Now let us look at another example here. Here we are looking at the Wipro chart. Now Wipro has also shown a inverse head and shoulder, and as we could see, once there was a breakout, there was again pullback towards the neckline, and then the prices actually moved much higher. Now the difference between the two head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulder actually, when I showed you that in the case of the Jet Airways, the slope of the neckline was positive. So the probability of similar patterns are higher than what was formed in the case of Wipro, which had a negatively slanting neckline. But in both the cases, we saw that there were very good breakout, and the price movement was quite substantial in the upward direction. So when you are taking a long trade in an inverse head and shoulder pattern, you should be having a stop loss that is just below the nearest shoulder. Now as you have taken long after the breakout from the neckline, the nearest shoulder bottom a little bit lower than should have been your ideal stop. But if you could have tried to take a trade with a much lower stop loss, you could have entered a small amount of quantity once the breakout is there, and then waited for a pullback, and if after the pullback price was going again upside, you could trade additional quantity and put your stop loss a little bit lower than the neckline itself, not below the nearest shoulder. So that way you can optimize your trade So this was all about the head and shoulder and the inverse head and shoulder pattern that we discussed. These are very popular patterns, but unfortunately in nowadays market you don't find in daily chart these patterns very often. But in hourly chart, if you look, you will find this kind of patterns very useful, and they act and give profit to the traders very swift amount of time. So thank you for watching the video.